Okay, just imagine this for a second. You're walking, right? Clean street, sun's warm,
Mm-hmm.
sky's totally blue, no clouds, and this warm light, it just touches your face, your steps,
Quiet.
really quiet.
Nice.
Then you get this smell from like an open window,
Right.
fresh bread, still warm.
Oh, yeah, I can picture that.
And then this flash of movement, a
Mm-hmm.
dog, super happy, tail going crazy fast, just races past.
Ah.
You smile, gives this one little bark, and it's gone. Then you hear a kid laugh, but then a little sob.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, drop their ice cream.
Yeah.
But then, like, immediately the mom gives a hug, whispers something, and the kid's smiling again.
Oh.
And the whole moment, that little sequence, it just feels calm, light, like really good.
That's a really vivid picture you painted there.
Well, here's the thing. That wasn't just me riffing, it felt real, didn't it? Something you could almost step into.
It really did. Very immersive.
And this is what's so fascinating. That whole description, it actually comes from, believe it or not, a basic English language shadowing practice exercise.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
For beginners?
Yeah, I mean, a simple learning tool, but the depth in it, the sheer detail,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of brilliant. Way beyond just vocabulary lists.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Okay, so let's unpack this then.
Mhm.
Today, our deep dive is all about how this seemingly simple three-part exercise we found is actually like ingeniously put together.
Right.
We're going to look at how this walk through a city becomes this kind of master class in learning. Not just for language fluency, but also training your mind, observation, immersion, making connections.
So it's the methodology behind the narrative and the narrative itself.
Exactly. It's this blend of a smart learning technique woven into this surprisingly rich story, something really useful for you listening.
Cool. Where do we start?
Okay, let's peel back that first layer. Part one, the beginner bit. It feels almost, well, deceptively simple, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
The source starts with these super short sentences, almost like atoms, like little dabs of paint on a canvas.
Yeah, I see that.
Why start so small with these like really basic separate observations? How does that build the foundation instead of just, throwing people in?
Well, that's where the pedagogical thinking is really smart. For beginners, the source uses these incredibly direct sentences, often just like 2 or 3 words.
Like what? Give me an example.
Okay, so the sky is blue, there are no clouds, or the sun is hot, the light touches my face.
Okay, yeah. Very basic.
Right. But it's not simple just for simplicity's sake. It's designed very deliberately to manage cognitive load. That's a huge thing in early language learning.
Cognitive load.
Yeah.
So like not overwhelming the brain.
Exactly. By giving you language in these tiny, easy to process, phonetically clear chunks, it lowers the mental effort needed.
Okay.
So the learner can focus purely on matching the sound to the basic meaning without getting tangled up in complex grammar or tons of new words right away.
So you get it immediately, no frustration.
Precisely. It builds confidence fast, and crucially, it starts training your ear for that fundamental rhythm of English right from the get-go.
And it really does stick to those sensory details, even when it's short. Like, I smell fresh bread. Bam.
So direct.
Very impactful.
And the dog part. A dog is running, the dog is happy, its tail moves fast,
Yeah.
no room for doubt, crystal clear.
Yeah.
Even that little story with the kid and the ice cream, it's broken down. A child is laughing, the child eats ice cream, then the child drops the ice cream.
Right. Step by step.
The mother hugs the child. She speaks softly. The child feels better. You get the whole emotional arc, but just through these simple, factual statements.
And those details aren't random. Fresh bread, that's a powerful sensory trigger for almost everyone. Comfort, home. It creates stronger memory links.
Good point.
And breaking down the ice cream incident, laughing, beating, dropping, comforting, it's teaching basic narrative sequence. Cause and effect in its simplest form.
So it's like a tiny story-building lesson hidden in there. Pretty much. It shows how events are made of smaller actions, a building block for later, and the fruit shop part 2. Apples are red, bananas yellow, orange is bright, grapes purple. It's teaching colors, yes, but also like categorization, simple description skills.
Okay.
And if you think about it deeper, these basic, vivid observations, they start training your brain to actively notice things.
So.
Well, neuroscientists talk about how engaging multiple senses, even if you're just imagining them, like with the bread smell, boosts memory, creates richer pathways in the brain.
So it's making you pay attention more closely.
Yeah, it's almost like a basic mindfulness practice, training your brain to register details, not just passively see them. And then ending with, I feel calm, I feel light, the day is good. That connects observation to a positive feeling. Makes learning feel good.
Wow, okay. Active mindfulness disguised as language practice.
Yeah.
I like that. So what happens when we hit part 2, the intermediate level? Those little dots start connecting, right?
They do.
I really noticed this shift. The sentences get longer, definitely richer, more detail. Ideas start linking up. It's like the picture starts getting filled in.
Mm-hmm.
How does that progression help the learner and like make it feel more immersive?
Well, this step is absolutely critical. It builds directly on that foundation. It pushes memory, fluency, confidence. Because now you are linking ideas. You're getting context.
Right.
The sentences are more descriptive. It's not just isolated facts anymore. It's weaving a narrative. So instead of just say, the houses are small, you get...
Well, let me guess. Something about flowers.
Exactly. There are small houses on both sides. Most of them have balconies with flowers. Some flowers are red, others are yellow. See?
Yeah, okay. More complex. You have to hold more in your head.
Right. It's not just adding words, it's adding layers, perception layers. It forces your brain to hold multiple bits of info in working memory and connect them, spatially in this case.
That bakery scene does that too, doesn't it? I stop for a moment at the bakery. Through the window, I can see fresh bread on the shelves. People are waiting in line inside. So you're not just smelling the bread now, you're seeing it, seeing the people. It adds a social layer.
Precisely. And the bustling street scene. More shops here selling clothes, toys, and small gifts. Then children stand outside the toy shop. They point at dolls and cars.
Right. It's moving from just listing things to showing interaction. A dynamic scene, like putting puzzle pieces together.
Perfect analogy. And again, the details are chosen carefully. The balconies with flowers suggest maybe care, aesthetics. The people waiting in line implies it's a popular place. It adds context, helps you build a richer mental picture.
Okay.
And the bookstore part goes even further, becomes more personal. I walk inside and the smell of books fills the air. Then, one book catches my attention. It has a blue cover with golden letters. Title is about travel and adventure.
Ah, so now there's curiosity, personal interest, not just observing.
Exactly. It's becoming an unfolding internal experience for the walker.
You know, it reminds me of, like, when you first explore a new city, at first it's just random streets, buildings. But after a while, you start seeing how they connect, how neighborhoods fit together. You build a mental map.
That's a fantastic parallel, because this part of the exercise mirrors how our brains naturally learn about new places or complex topics. We go from the separate bits to understanding the connections, the flow.
Okay.
It trains you to see that interconnectivity. Cognitive psychologists call it building schema, those mental frameworks we use to organize information.
Got it.
So the experience and the language tied to it becomes way more memorable, more intuitive, because you're encoding it as a coherent whole, not just, isolated vocabulary.
That makes sense.
Even that description of the park, find a green bench under a tree. Park is full of life. Children chasing each other, couples walk hand in hand.
Yeah.
Sound of the falling water is soft and calming. Busy city disappears. Only peace. It's just this beautiful weaving together of sights and sounds into one feeling. Peace.
A masterpiece of sensory integration, you called it earlier. I like that.
It really is.
Which brings us to part 3, upper intermediate. And this is where it really feels like a story, doesn't it?
Definitely.
It's the most complex part, flows so naturally, vocabulary is richer, feels less like listing observations and more like everything's interacting. A symphony, maybe?
That's a great word for it, because the genius here is how it ramps up the linguistic complexity, sure, but it also really deepens the emotional side and explores human interactions within that setting.
Okay.
It builds this palpable sense of community shared experience. It goes beyond just describing. It's a real slice of life.
How did it do that?
Well, look at the description of nature evolving. It's more poetic now. Clouds move slowly across the horizon. The tall trees look darker now, and their shadows stretch across the grass. The fountain shines like silver.
Yeah, that's much more atmospheric, time passing.
Exactly, a more contemplative feel. And then the musicians, that's such a lovely touch.
It really is. 3 young people are preparing to play music. Music is soft at the beginning. People stop walking and turn their heads toward the music.
See how it describes the collective reaction?
Yeah. Some clap softly. Others take out phones to record. Even children stop. They look with wide eyes. It's this shared moment of attention, of wonder.
It creates this powerful feeling of unity. The text says, the whole part feels different, calmer, warmer, and more alive. It feels as if the music is joining all the people together. It feels good to be part of this small community.
Wow, that's going deep.
Right. It's moving into abstract concepts, unity, community, crucial for higher level learners, and it's teaching the feeling of social connection, not just the words for it.
And that little interaction with the boy?
Yes. The boy with the balloon asks, "Do you like music?" His eyes are bright, and he waits for my answer.
It just adds this direct, personal, kind of touching moment. Makes the whole thing feel very human. Teaches conversation naturally.
It does. And even the city at dusk description. It's not just sights, it's a whole sensory mix.
Right? Shops, closing, restaurants, opening bright lights shine from inside. I smell food, fresh bread, fried rice, grilled meat, and strong coffee. All those competing smells.
Creates this incredibly vivid sense of a living city transitioning into evening.
And the final thought the narrator has.
Hmm.
I think about sitting down, ordering something. Imagine having a hot drink, but I decide to keep walking. I feel like going home.
Yeah, that internal monologue. A moment of reflection, choice.
It makes the walker feel like a real person with thoughts, desires, not just eyes and ears.
And that's the key to this final stage. These complex narratives, they train you to get the nuances, understand social dynamics, see how everything music, shared moments, evening smells, personal choices weaves together to create the texture of an experience.
So you're not just learning words anymore.
Not at all. You're learning to understand culture, people, the rhythm of life, which is what real fluency is all about. You start to inhabit the story and not just read it.
That is really quite incredible. How much is packed into what looks like a simple language exercise?
It is pretty amazing.
So, okay, we've walked through this narrative, seen how it builds. What does it all mean for someone actually trying to learn? Let's talk about the technique itself, shadowing. The source creator is quite specific about how to do it right.
Yes, very specific. And the instructions are, I think, key to why it works so well. The source says, listen carefully and repeat with me immediately. Do not stop, do not translate, just copy my voice, copy my rhythm, and let the sounds flow.
Immediately. So not listen, pause, repeat, but repeat while you're listening, like an echo.
Exactly like an echo, real-time mimicry.
Yeah.
And the instruction not to stop and not to translate, that's crucial.
That does sound counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Your instinct is to pause, think, translate it in your head first.
Right. We're trained to analyze.
But the benefits listed are pretty powerful. It trains your ear, it trains your mouth, it gives you rhythm, speed, and confidence. How does just echoing achieve all that?
Well, the magic of shadowing is how it directly taps into the brain's auditory motor pathways. You're essentially sidestepping the analytical part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, which often slows you down with translation and overthinking.
Okay, so you're building a more direct connection.
Exactly. A direct, almost reflexive link between hearing the sounds and making them yourself. It strengthens the neural pathways for prosody. That's the rhythm, the intonation, the stress patterns that make speech sound natural.
Ah, the music of the language.
Precisely. It's not just about saying the words right, it's about getting that flow, that melody. It's less about conscious thought and more about building an embodied, intuitive feel for the language.
Like muscle memory, but for speaking.
Kind of, but deeper. It's repatterning how your brain processes and produces the language sounds. You move from slow, deliberate construction to a more natural flowing output.
Which builds speed and confidence.
No. Right, because you start sounding more natural, faster. You gain the rhythm, the speed, the appropriate sort of emotional tone, which, let's be honest, is often the hardest part for learners to get right.
What an amazing journey.
Mm.
Seriously. We started with these like tiny, simple observations on a walk.
Mm-hmm. Blue sky, hot sun,
Right. Then moved through these richer, connected scenes.
the bakery, the park.
And finally uncovered this subtle, but really powerful technique, shadowing, that underpins it all. This source material, it's just brilliant how it packages a vivid experience and a super effective learning method together.
It really is. It shows that sometimes the simplest tools, when well designed, hold an incredible depth.
Yeah, it reminds us there can be layers of sophistication even in beginner materials.
Absolutely. And this whole approach, it kind of raises a bigger question for all of us, doesn't it?
Oh, that.
Well, how could applying this kind of structured, immersive observation, starting simple, building connections, embracing that shadowing idea of intuitive mimicry, how could that apply beyond just the language? Interesting. Like in learning any skill or
Yeah,
just understanding the world better.
exactly.
Hmm.
Could transforming how we consume information,
Yeah.
shifting from passive intake to this kind of active, almost embodied engagement,
Mm.
could that really let you inhabit new knowledge instead of just collecting it and maybe see your own everyday life with, I don't know, a newfound richness?